This is FinTech Futures at FinovateFall, and I'm joined by Jazz Samra of Wells Fargo. Jazz, how are you?
I'm great. How are you? Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with us. How have you been enjoying the conference?
Yeah, it's been great. There's been a lot of people of dialogue and seeing a lot of familiar faces.
Excellent. So sounds great. So I guess just get started then. Well, let's give us a quick introduction to yourself and your role at Wells Fargo.
Yeah, so I get the pleasure of working on our innovation initiatives as well as our strategic partnerships at the firm.
Excellent. And so you spoke earlier today on a panel then about women in fintech and promoting gender diversity in the industry. For those not in attendance then, can you tell us what the key takeaways were from that talk?
Yeah, thank you. Really it was about being intentional, right? It was really thinking about the path that you have forward. What are you looking for in your career and how can you think about your ecosystem around you to support you? I think the second part was really around the difference between allyships, mentorships, and sponsorships. And so while you may have a mentor, that may not be enough, right? So you can look at different mentorships, different people across different spectrums of your career within your company and outside to really help you think about activating the next part of your career. And then sponsorship is different than that, right? Having a sponsor is someone that's going to actively be promoting you and your work in rooms that you're not in. And so being really intentional around those roles and how you can kind of make those connections. I think the third point was really around we can all play a role, right? We all own culture and we can all look behind us and bring people along. And so being intentional around the people, women, people of color around you that need to be able to access, different programming and events and being able to bring them forward with you.
Sounds great. So I guess obviously then as head of strategic partnerships at Wells Fargo, can you tell us how the bank has looked to approach its partnership strategy then, particularly in its kind of relationship with fintechs as well?
Yeah, great question. I think we really look at fintechs as being forward-looking, really close to the customer, nimble, and being able to surface customer problems and different behaviors to the surface and potentially develop solutions around them. While banks, right, really have the scale and the data, access, and channels. And so when we come together, there's a really great opportunity for us to beautifully thread that together and be able to work in partnership together.
Excellent. So I guess with the speed of change when it comes to technology, rapidly evolving customer expectations, how important then is collaborating with fintechs for banks then in terms of keeping up with that change?
Absolutely. I think at Wells Fargo, we know that innovation has to continue and partnerships are a key part of that. And as we think of the future of our customers, their needs, as they're evolving, we want to evolve. So it can't just happen within our four walls. It has to go outside of that. So partnerships are key to the way that we think of our strategy, and we are connected across all the lines of business. And I think we are different, and part of our differentiator is that we actually invest in partnerships.
Excellent. I mean, given how fast things change then, I mean, is there ever fear that spend time on a project and then the technology moves on by the time that project finishes? And do you need that, I guess, collaboration and that transformation to be a thread going throughout the bank and acting kind of constantly as you go through it?
Yeah, so innovation really is centered around human-centered design, right? Which is a practice or methodology that focuses around the customer behavior and getting really obsessed with the customer. What are their pain points and how can you evolve your strategy and your thinking and your technology to pivot with the customers and the base. And so I think if you follow the customer and we look at market scans and ethnographic data to be able to then place it within labs and prototype and test and learn, we're going to continue to solve for the customer need. And sometimes the solution will be an emerging technology or a new technology, and sometimes it will be about process or automation, et cetera. So I think it's really key and core to stick to what the customer is looking for and how can we build the future set of products for those customers.
Excellent. So what is it in particular that you look out for then when you're scouting for new partnerships?
Yeah, so I think, what are the problems that we're trying to solve? We're looking at, how do we extend the capabilities of our firm? How do we modernize our core infrastructure while protecting it? And then we're looking at new products and services for our customers, as well as new enhanced digital experiences to help think about seamlessly having, new products for our customer base.
So what collaborations then have you forged then at Wells Fargo recently that you're particularly excited by?
So I think our partnership with Google is really fascinating. So we've leveraged Google Cloud and Dialogflow, which is their AI conversational tools, to be able to deliver Fargo, which is our AI-assisted mobile app. And so now you have this concierge-like experience where you can go in and you can ask questions like, what is my balance? Show me my account and routing number. What Zelle transactions do I have? You can go down to a merchant level, and so you have access to your information when you need it, readily and available.
Sounds great. And I guess to finish things off, then, how do you see the space evolving over the next few years then in terms of that bank fintech relationship?
Yeah, I think it's really about the collaboration and how do we co-create together. And so as you think of the build, buy, and borrow framework, there's a new model around creating together. And so if we leverage the scale and the power of our data, as well as some of the nimbleness of our fintechs that are coming up and solving those consumer problems, I think there's a really great opportunity for us to partner together, and we continue to partner in the space.
Excellent. Sounds great. Well, Jazz, again, thank you so much for taking the time out to speak with me today. It's been a pleasure.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cheers.